Hi, I'm Kristina and welcome to Yoga to Transform. Today we're going to be stepping into mindfulness. Yes, we are. This is Blackie, my yogi cat. So when we kind of start, mindfulness has become such a buzzword, and if you want to hear more about what Audrey and I have to say about mindfulness, we do have a mindfulness Thankful Thursday that's available on YouTube too. But basically, in terms of the essence, mindfulness is a bit of a carryover from last week in terms of that ability to live in the present moment and that ability to really anchor in living in the now. And more importantly, when we come and step into this practice of being mindful in the moment, what we're really also stepping into is this choice to be living consciously. And there's a huge difference between conscious and unconscious living. So from the perspective of unconscious living, what that tends to be is us reacting to the programs of our childhood, our life, our karma. Something happens, we react. As Stephen Covey teaches, there's a gap between stimulus and response, and in that gap you get to choose. But most of us are living unconsciously, so we're not choosing, and there appears to be no gap. So it's like something happens, I react, boom, life explodes. Versus when we step into this conscious living, we're paying attention to ourselves in the moment, and we're really learning about who we are right now, and we're consciously choosing to be embodying a certain quality in a certain aspect. So that what we are deciding is that I am going to choose to be kind. That is a quality of presence and energy that I want to bring to my life from this moment forward. And of course, on the journey into choosing kindness, if we haven't always been kind in the past, we will not be kind. And we'll make mistakes, and there'll be moments of cruelty even. But the beauty of mindfulness and the beauty of the power of now is that the slate gets wiped clean, and you get to choose again, and you get to return to the practice of kindness, or whatever quality it is that you want to be embodying in your life. So we're going to mindfully be choosing a virtuous quality that we want to be growing in our lives as we move through today's class. So let's take a moment to close our eyes and just tune into the rhythm and flow of your breath. So just breathe in deep, and as you're breathing in, pay attention to the quality of the air as it passes through your nostrils, and notice if it's passing through evenly, or if one nostril is breathing in and the other isn't. Pay attention to the quality of your air as you exhale. And just allow your breath to be the first anchor of attuning your mind to who you are in this moment. Now we interpret the world through our senses, so begin to listen to the sounds in the room. Even maybe the sounds outside of the room, and draw those sounds into you. Notice if there's any story that goes with anything that you're hearing. And be willing to let that story go with your exhalation. Feel the quality of the air on your skin. Or maybe the fabric of your clothing. Notice any sensations that may be in your body right now. pay attention to this tendency to tell the story. As we become more mindful, we realize we write the story. So feel the sensations and pause and soften, and then you choose to let whatever story might be arising, to just let it go with your exhalation. Now the invitation is to allow a word that you desire to embody fully, a descriptive word, to just bubble up from deep inside of you. Some of you, it may be a few words. And place that word in your heart. And breathe into that word. And notice how it feels as you breathe into it, and you probably notice that in your mind you can hear the word being said. And now the invitation is to add these two powerful words to the front of that word. I am. Add your word. And notice how that feels. Is it different to just saying the word? You're standing in your power and your ability to embody that energy when you add the I am. And bring your hands together in front of your heart. Inhaling deeply. Exhale fully. Bow your head to your heart, release your hands, and inhale, lift your head and open your eyes. All right, so we're starting on our feet today. So coming all the way up to Tarasana. And stand mindfully, right? This practice of mindfulness is this practice of choosing what you stand for and what you stand in and how you show up. So place your feet hips distance apart. And for me, make sure the feet are parallel. So that means the middle of the ankle running to the top of the second toe. If you drew lines, they'd look like they were train tracks. Okay, perfect. Now, feel into how your feet feel on the mat and gently just soften your knees so that they're not hyperextended, but they're just nice and soft. That helps create that connection to the earth. And bring your attention looking down at your feet. Anchor the big toe ball mound into the mat and then the little toe ball mound into the mat. Now the inner heel and the outer heel. And notice how that energetically just enlivens your ability to engage with the foundation. So we're going to really pay attention to our connection to the foundation today, because that's what we're doing. We're creating a foundation of that word. For me, I'm choosing love today. So whatever your word is, just anchor that into the four corners of your feet and drive that into the earth. And we're going to stay quite subtle as we begin. And so to begin with, just feel that. And now inhale, lift your toes up and feel into that. Exhale, release your toes. Perfect. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhaling, lifting your toes. Feel how that changes things subtly in your body, that action. Exhale, release the toes. Inhale, lovingly lift the toes and notice how that lovingly lifts all the muscles up and towards the belly. Keeping that, exhale, drop the toes down. And keep that loving lift of the toes engaged and the 4 corners of your feet engaged. And now let's add in the hug of a warm embrace of your muscles to bones. So hug muscles to bones all the way up your legs, every single muscle. And then gently hug your feet towards each other and draw up from your feet all the way up into your belly. Feel that, and then exhale, release, extending out from the pelvis back down into the foundation of love that we're creating. Hug muscles to bones. It's a loving embrace, drawing all the way into yourself. Now, notice how that feels in your system, and exhale, release it. Just soften back down into the earth. Notice how that feels. We're paying attention. We're training ourselves to really engage in the subtlety of your life moment to moment. How does your body feel right now? Release that. Nice work. This time, as you hug muscles to bones, drawing all the way up into your pelvis, take the top of your thighs back, turning your inner thighs in slightly, and lift your pubic bone to navel on the exhalation. Lengthen through the side of your body. Roll the head of your arm bones back and turn your little fingers forward. Hold that, then release. Nice work. Then do that again. It's this drawing of the energy from the foundation of love, or whatever it is you're standing in and standing forward. Take the top of the thighs back. Now lift the pubic bone to navel with the exhalation. Then inhale, extend and draw that up into the upper body. Turn the palms open. Tarasana. Exhale, release that, soften. Last time, anchoring into the earth, hug muscles to bones, draw all the way up. Take the top of the thighs back and turn the inner thighs in slightly. Lift the pubic bone to navel and then draw all the way up, taking the head of your arm bones back. Turn the pinky fingers open and just hold this, remembering to breathe. And feel into the energetic state of your system. Notice one side versus the other. And breathe into that word. Gorgeous. Inhale, now reach for the sky, keeping that anchoring of your word, your foundation, and then exhale, fold forward, coming into Ardha Uttanasana. You can use blocks or place your hands on your shins. Lift your heart halfway, Ardha Uttanasana, and then exhale, melt your heart, come back into Uttanasana. Notice and pause and just feel into how your body feels this first Uttanasana. Ground down through your legs, anchor into your foundation. I'm creating a foundation of love. You choose your word, anchor into that, rise all the way up. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Nice work. Let's do that again. Turn the palms out, roll the head of your arm bones back. Inhale. Raise the hands all the way up. Bring your hands together. Fold forward at the hips, coming into Uttanasana. Inhale, lift your heart halfway, coming into Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, melt your heart. Stay anchored evenly in the feet as you inhale. Rise all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands together in front of your heart. Keep the arms moving. Turn the palms open. Anchor into the legs, lift the pubic bone, extend up the side of your body, take the head of your arm bones back, open the hands, use the bottom tips of your shoulder blades to lift your heart. We are standing in this conscious intention to show up energetically in a certain way. Last time, reaching for the sky, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift your heart halfway. You can remember to just repeat that mantra, I am, and add your word in. Exhale, melt. Ground down through your legs and rise up. Mindfully, consciously pay attention to your body in every phase of the movement. Stay anchored in yourself in this moment. Palms face open. Roll the head of your arm bones back. Lift your heart. Nice. Let's add on to that. We're working into the hips and the thighs and the heart today. Reach for the sky. Inhale. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, melt your heart. Place your hands. Step your left leg back and drop your left knee down towards the mat. Bring both hands to the inside edge of your front foot, and you might want to block. Walk your fingers out. Now we're focusing on setting a foundation and softening into that. So pay attention, tuck your back toes under for this first side. Hug muscles to bones, that loving embrace of you in this moment, and draw your back knee and your front foot towards each other. Lift pubic bone to navel, then lengthen through the side of your body. Now, depending on how your hips are feeling, you might be staying here with your arms straight, or you might be able to bend the elbows, come down a little bit deeper. Some of you might come onto your forearms on a block, or you might be able to come all the way down onto the mat. Notice as we give those progressions and those options, what your mind does, right? Are you being kind or loving? Are you standing in that intention? And then just soften into it if your mind has taken you away from that place. Feel into the sensations. Walk your fingers back, place both hands either side of your front foot, lift your right leg up, and then inhale, step forward into Uttanasana. Just pause and feel here for a moment, folding forward. Notice the difference between either side. Notice the difference of the plantedness of your feet on the mat. Is one side heavier than the other? Now step your right leg back, drop your right knee down towards the mat. Bring both hands to the inside edge of your left foot. Tuck your back toes under. Next time round we'll untuck them. Lovingly embrace yourself in this moment. Yeah. Walk your fingers out. Draw the back heel, the back knee towards the front heel. Lift the pubic bone towards navel. Either stay here. You can soften your elbows to come down. Maybe you want to bring your forearms onto a block, or maybe onto the mat. And consciously stay present with yourself in this moment. This conscious participation with life, moment to moment to moment. We get to choose how we respond. But first we have to feel into what is happening in our body right now. Inhale, come up. Place your hands either side of your feet. Lift your back knee up, and this time step back either into table or plank. You get to decide. And place your hands middle of the wrist in line with the outside edges of your shoulders. Lift your pubic bone to navel. Seat bones in line with your shoulders. Shoulder blades together on the back. And look at your tips of your fingers and grip the mat so that the fingertips go white, even underneath your nail polish. And today I really want you to focus on keeping that pointer finger mound anchored into the mat as we move through these poses. So come down either knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. How is that pointer finger going? Roll the head of your arm bones back. How's the pointer finger going? Inhale, lift up. Bhujangasana, Cobra pose. Exhale back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Stay standing and committed like a tree to this ability to show up in the world unwaveringly in that virtuous quality. Breathe into it. Allow it to move through every cell in your body so that you and that word become energetically one. Look forward at your hands, keeping the pointer finger mound anchored. Step forward, Uttanasana. Lift your fingers halfway. Exhale, melt your heart. Ground down into your foundation as we inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands together in front of your heart. Just keep moving the hands down. Pinky fingers point forward. Lengthen through the side of your body. Roll the head of your arm bones back. Just lift your heart. Just opening to yourself in this moment. Reach for the sky. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, melt your heart. Place your hands, step your left leg back. Now if you need to support your knees, moving through these poses, we are going to repeat variations of this pose because we're opening into the thighs and the hips today. Do use a blanket to support yourself. Place both hands on your front thigh. And this time we're going to take the toes the other way. So rather than tucking them under, just spread the toes. Anchor the four corners of the front foot in the mat. Hug muscles to bones. Lovingly embrace yourself in this moment. Draw the back foot and the front thigh towards each other. Lift your pubic bone to navel and then sink a little bit deeper, keeping everything as it is. You can turn your hands, lengthening through the side of your body, rolling the head of your elbows back. Turn the pinky fingers in to open. Or some of you may want to take your hands up, coming a little bit deeper into this Anjaneyasana. Notice how you can stay grounded in that front foot. Inhale, unwind. Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee and step forward, Uttanasana. Lift your heart halfway out of Uttanasana. Exhale, melt your heart. Second side, taking the right leg back, drop the right knee on towards the mat. Place both hands on the front thigh and come up. So settle into this foundation. It's like we arrive in this new place. So settle and choose. Okay, now I'm going to be loving. So lovingly embrace yourself. Hug muscles to bones. Lovingly draw into yourself. Beautiful. Keep that as you sink a little bit deeper into this experience. You may want to open up by lengthening through the side of your body, rolling the head of your elbows back. Turn the pinky fingers forward. Take the ears back with your shoulders, coming into a bit of a opening of the heart. Some of you may even take the hands up. I am love. Breathe into your word. And like a flower in the springtime, let that word blossom inside of you and bloom. Unwind. Place your hands on the mat and step back into table or plank. Again, keep that connection to your intentionality. This mindfulness is just a conscious intention, moment to moment. Shoulders on the back and pointer finger mound anchored. Coming down, knees, chest, chin or Chaturanga Dandasana. And then inhale, rising up, Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. Exhale, come back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Stay grounded, stay committed, stay unwavering. This conscious intention. How do you embody these qualities in your life every single day? Look forward at your hands, bend your knees, gently step, jump or walk forward. Uttanasana. Did I do both sides? Yes, I think I did. Lift your heart halfway. Ground down through your legs and inhale, rise all the way up. If I didn't, do both sides, please. Oh my goodness. Reach for the sky. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, melt your heart. Place your hands, step your left leg back, coming down, Anjaneyasana. Place both hands on the front thigh. Now choose the way that you can support yourself most. So either it's the feet tucked under or the feet spread out, toes spread, so that you can keep that hugging in and that support and that grounding. Now some of us are going to repeat the experience of the last pose. Some of us are going to bend the back knee, reach back with the left hand, taking the left hand and the left foot, and close the gap. We do that by taking the thighs back. Nice. Keep that, and then you can sink a little bit deeper. Twist the heart forward. Beautiful thigh stretch. We hold so much emotion and history in our thighs and our hips. So notice the sensations and notice any emotion or any kind of funny bubbling up that might be arising as you open these parts of the body. Release that, lift the back knee up and step forward, Uttanasana. Pause here for a moment and just feel into both sides, paying attention. Place your hands, step your right leg back, drop the right knee down towards the floor. Place both hands on your left thigh. Again, you get to choose, like You can stay here, repeating the pose. You're still getting a perfectly great thigh stretch. Or some of you may want to bend the right knee, reach back with the right hand, take the right foot in the hand, and take the thigh stretch a little bit deeper. Nice, sinking into it. Twist your heart forward. We're staying soft and open from this foundation of commitment and stability. I am, unwavering like the tree. My decision is to choose how I show up for myself and for the world. Release that. Place your hands, step back, plank pose. Pointer finger mount anchored, tips of the fingers anchored, and then come down, knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. Roll the head of your arm bones back, Bhujangasana. Come back, keeping the grip anchored, downward facing dog. Feel into yourself in this moment. Feel into that word, building a strong energy within you. Look forward at your hands, bend your knees, slightly step, jump, walk forward, Uttanasana. Lift your heart halfway. Exhale, melt your heart. Ground down through your legs and inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands together in front of your heart. Nice work. Reaching for the sky, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Feel the quality of your feet on the mat. Lift your heart. Exhale, melt your heart. Place your hands, step your left leg back, drop your left knee down towards the mat. This time, place your left hand underneath your left shoulder and twist your heart towards the right knee. Inhale, take your right hand up towards the ceiling. So soften into that foundation, that intention of consciously choosing how you show up. Hug into that, muscles to bones, and draw your front feet towards each other. Now some of you may want to lift the back knee, reach back with the top hand and come into twisted monkey. Lifting the pubic bone to the navel, lift all the way up into the heart, take the ears back, make this an offering of your heart. If you can go a little bit deeper, the option is to bring the forearm to the floor. Notice where your mind goes. When I give the options to progress the pose. Wherever you are, just notice. The mindfulness is just a practice of witnessing and noticing. Place your hands and step forward, Uttanasana. Lift your heart halfway. Exhale, melt your heart. Pause and soften here for a moment. Feel the difference between either side. If there is one, just tune into what's happening in your body. Has something changed? Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. Take your right leg back, drop the right knee onto the floor, place your right hand under the shoulder and twist your heart towards the left knee, placing your left hand on the left knee. So set that foundational intention and just soften into that. Now lovingly embrace it and draw it into yourself. It's like, okay, I'm here, I'm loving, and I'm lovingly hugging into myself. Okay, now twist open and inhale. You can take your top hand up towards the ceiling. Pay attention to whether this side is different to the other. And if you want to progress, you can take the back foot, bend it, reach back with your top hand, coming into the twisted variation, and take the heart, engaging the heart a bit more. Maybe some of you will come down onto the forearm. Breathe into that quality and allow it to settle into you. Allow it to be the seed that is planted and then blooms in the springtime. Unwind. Place your hands, come back, plank or table. Grip the mat with the tips of the fingers and the pointer finger mount. Keep that commitment as you come down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, lift your heart. It's this practice of paying attention as I move through life. Can I stay anchored in my foundation and consciously connected to it? Come back, downward facing dog. How's your pointer finger mount coming along? Still anchored. And like the seed, you start to sprout. Moving from the darkness into the light. And a new you begins to unfold. Look forward at your hands, bend your knees, lightly step, jump or walk forward, Uttanasana. Lift your heart halfway. Exhale, melt your heart. Ground down through your legs and inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands together in front of your heart. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, melt your heart. Place your hands, step your left leg back. Drop the left knee down towards the mat. Now this is always a crowd pleaser. So we're going to, either you can stay here because we're still working into opening the hips here, or you can walk your right foot to the middle of the mat and come to the outside edge of your right foot. And that will bring the knee open to the left and the shin kind of sweeping past your front forearm. Now because we're paying attention to the foundation and anchoring into that, bring your attention first to your feet and make sure the big toe mound is pushing away and the little toe mound is pulling towards you and the toes are spread. Remember that feeling of the energetic engagement of your feet, your toes lifted, and bring that into the expression of this pose. Now lovingly embrace yourself in this moment and draw the back knee towards the front foot as you take, you can tuck the tailbone under as you lift the pubic bone towards the navel. Notice the sensations here. The activation of your foot keeps your knee safe and make sure you're really working into the hip and not the knee. Tune into those sensations. Inhale, come up. Heel toe the foot back to where it began. Take your hips back so that the hip is over the back knee. Lift your front foot toes up and come into Adha Hanuman or runner's stretch. Again, just keep the toes spread. Now some of you, if your hamstrings are a little bit more open, you can go a bit deeper. Try not to disturb the cat. And come into a fuller expression of this pose. We've been opening up into the thighs. So the back thigh should be ready, but just notice, nothing like playing in your hamstrings and your hips and your thighs to get some sensations building, hey? Choose your word, repeat, I am love. Beautiful. Begin to draw that front foot in, place the foot on the mat. Place your hands either side of the front foot, lift your back knee and inhale, step forward, Uttanasana. And just soften and feel for that moment. Notice the difference between either side. How has your action and your activity changed something inside of you? That is the practice we apply on the mat, so we can apply that practice off the mat. How has my conscious showing up changed the way I am in the world? Place your hands, step your right leg back. Bring your right knee down towards the mat. Now again, you can stay here because you're still working the hips, you're still opening the back thigh, like this is a very big opener anyway. Or if you want to, you can take it further by bringing your left foot to the middle of the mat and coming to the outside edge of your left foot. Spread the toes, bring your attention into that space. If you want, you could even support the knee by placing a block under the knee, just to take some of that pressure off you if you're opening up. But focus mainly on your foundation. This is the art of mindful living. We focus on the foundation, and it's that energetic presence, that quality of who am I when I turn up? What are the choices I make when life asks something of me? Am I going to choose to be kind and loving? Beautiful. Inhale, come up. Heel toe that foot out to the side. Take the left hip back so the hip is over the knee. Lift your right toes up. Ardha Hanumanasana, runner's stretch. Work the thigh bone into the hamstring. Lift pubic bone to navel. Lengthen through the side of your body. Some of you may want to take this a bit deeper. Use the blocks to extend your arms if that makes life a little bit more enjoyable. I'm not sure enjoyable and Hanuman are, yeah. Breathe into the sensations, and the practice is to be present and then choose to allow that quality, that word to bloom within you, even in the intensity of the sensation. Draw that back. Place your hands and come up, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, table or plank, and then come down either knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. Lifting your heart mindfully and consciously, like rising up into the world, opening in the fullness of your ability to choose. Come back, downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. And then inhale, come into table and walk your fingers back. Now if you need to support your knees, you can fold your mat over, or you can place a blanket under your knees. As you can see, I can't do either because my beautiful cat is staying beside me. And we're just going to do what we started with at the beginning in a standing sense. So the toes are tucked under. We're lovingly going to hug into ourselves, and then take the tops of the thighs back, lift the pubic bone to navel, turn the pinky fingers out as we lengthen through the side of the body, roll the head of the arm bones back and allow our ears to move back. So there's this anchoring into this virtuous quality and this growing up long into our ability to hold that. Some of you may be able to bring the palms together, keeping your elbows bent, or some of you may be able to reach all the way back to find your heels, coming into Ustrasana. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, take a seat. Place your hands on your heart, close your eyes. Breathe into that word. Allow it to grow and bloom within you. And just like the seed, as it's growing, you don't always see the results. So be patient as this word blossoms in your life. Last time, inhale, rising up. You can spread your toes this time. Clasp your hands at the back of the sacrum. Lengthen through the side of your body. Thighs back, tailbone tucks under. Roll the head of your arm bones back. Bring your elbows together. Use the elbows coming together to push the bottom tips of the shoulder blades to lift your heart towards the ceiling. Maybe you can reach back and come into finding your heels. Keep working the heart, opening it up to this fullness of a mindful life where you get to decide. Inhale, rise up. This time come into child's pose. Big toes together, knees out wide, folding forward, hands out in front of you. Anchoring into the tips of your fingers and mounds of your palm. Forehead on the mat or on a block. Breathing into your heart. I am. Just repeat that a few times. Notice how it feels in your system to repeat that word. Notice how it feels to begin to embody that quality. Walk the fingers back. Rise up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Now, we're going to come into Tarasana. So take your feet out a little bit wider and spread your toes. Now if you have issues with your knees, place a blanket between your knee and your thigh just to give them a little bit of support. And sit up nice and high. So there's no requirement that you be sitting all the way down. If you need to sit on a couple of blocks stacked up or a block that's on its highest height, please do that. Or you can begin to find the place where the block supports you. If you have a blanket and you're not using it under your knees, you might want to place it under your seat bones. I'm just going to try without the block. My toes are spread. My heels are close to the seat bones. Tailbone tucked under. Lengthen through the side of the body. Close your eyes. Breathe into these sensations. And then breathe into the virtuous quality of who you are, who you choose to be when you arrive in any place. Some of you may want to take this a bit deeper and come onto your back. Try not to take the plants out as I come down. I like to keep my hand on my feet just to keep that circle of energy moving through my system. Then inhale, come up. And then begin to come out of this. Just come forward, coming into table. And just gently and gently, just take the right leg back, lengthen into the leg, releasing your knee. And then take the second leg back, releasing into your leg, lengthening your knee. And then come into a comfortable seated position. We're going to do Nadi Shodana. So Nadi Shodana, you take the two peace fingers and you place them between your eyebrows using your right hand, and then you use the right thumb to close your right nostril and the ring finger to close your left nostril. Not at the same time though. So we close off the right nostril to begin with, and you inhale through your left nostril. Hold that, close the left nostril and exhale out your right nostril. Inhale through your right nostril. Close that off and exhale out your left nostril. Inhale through your left nostril. Close that off and exhale out your right nostril. Inhale through your right nostril. Close that off and exhale out your left. Inhale through your left nostril. Close that off and exhale out your right. Inhale through your right nostril. Close that off and exhale out your left. Inhale through your left nostril. Close that off and exhale out your right. Inhale through your right nostril. Close that off and exhale out your left. Inhale through your left nostril. Close that off and exhale out your right. Inhale through your right nostril. Close that off and exhale out your left. Inhale through your left nostril. Close that off and exhale out your right. Do that a few more times with your own rhythm. Release that when you exhale out your left nostril next. And just sit here in quiet meditation, palms open. Notice the quality of your breath as it passes through the nostrils on the inhalation and the exhalation. Slowly begin to bring your hands together in front of your heart. Inhaling deeply and then exhaling, keeping your eyes closed. To our ability to consciously choose who we are, how we show up, and what we stand for, we bow. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for joining me too, Blackie. You did so well. What a good yoga cat.